Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, this is Mr. Black with the Strat Time Report, and we're starting off here again. A lot of the themes of the year so far are still playing out. We've got the energy trade, we've got tech and high growth selling off with interest rates and all that kind of stuff. And today we got a little gold, and obviously this week a lot of earnings in the financials. But let's take a look at the SPY itself, and I'm going to show you how easy sometimes things can be. We know Wednesday has expiring options for one. So let's take a look at the daily first. Had that higher high here. All right, there's your higher high, and then the lower low again yesterday and here. This is a broadening formation, higher highs and lower lows. Now the question is that going to continue and expand down into this stuff, or once again reverse back up through? So we don't know yet. We're back to the doji on the day. Still a 2 down, but potentially an outside day. And so if we take a look at the monthly, still closer to being an outside month to the downside. All right, that still has our attention. The weekly, not doing much, chopping around a little bit, but it's still a 2 down. All right, and if you go to the 60, you'll hear me talk about this almost every day about how the new 60 is like a new day to us. Right, and so especially in the day when options are expiring. Just looking for the 2-2 reversals, and I'm going to show you a few of them, but this was a 2 up, and it wasn't strong enough to take that out. So if you just waited for the second hour, boom, 2-2, where's it going to go? It's going to take these guys out, right? There's your broadening formation. These two are an outside bar of that. Then you get a new 60, and you start to firm up. Now you're a 2-2 reversal back up. So you get this on the downside, you get that on the upside, and not too hard, all right? So right now, we got to get out of this thing. How are we going to get out of there? Because we got some sectors up, some down, a lot of that. So the broader average is not doing much. We knew the QQQ and QQQ a little weaker, right? So we know that that's a 2 down on the month. That's the second 2 down in a row on the month. Here on the daily, you're going to see this: the higher high, the 2-2 reversal on the day, boom, down she goes, and takes out these lows. So now you got a lower low and a higher high broadening formation in there. And if you look at this, had some distance to go on here on the 60, but on the opening 60, a lot of these did this. Poke up, boom, 2-2 reversal to the downside to take these out. And you'll hear me talking about watching things on 30 and 60. And if you go to the 30, right on that new 60, inside 30 back to the upside. Right, so you're going to see this on your 30 Qs. How do we get out of here? There's your lower low, and there's your higher high. So right now, Q's dead in the middle of this. How are you going to get out of there? That's what I want to know about. So once again, back to the daily, you're going to see these things coming back to doji on the day. If you go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, and here, boom, what's that? Ugh. Your 2-2 reversal. Anyway, diamonds also closer to the lows of the month, but doji on the week, just kind of sitting here doing nothing. And you can see this is just kind of flatlining in here. If you go to small cappers, and the small cappers, it's going to make it 60. Small cappers had some issues right out the chute. They were already weak and coming down. Right, we know that. So you can see once again here the higher high, the lower low. How are we going to get out of this? So that's what we call exhaustion risk. Anytime you're going into new lows, the seller's got to keep stepping down, and that's why we wait for this. The 2 up, but red, boom, 2-2 reversal, and down she goes, no higher highs on the day. So that's usually what we wait for on all time frames. So we want to have them all lined up like that. What we are seeing again is crude oil. We know the energy trade's been on fire to start off the year, that inside month to the upside, and UCO. XLE a little quiet, but not dying. If you look at these dailies comparatively, XLE looks like it might still be an inside day as of right now. Let me see here. Yep, by a penny. So not backing off, but you can see chopping up here in a little bit. Not one of our nice trendy days like that to go after, but crude itself not backing off. So just a little stall out on the week, and that's not uncommon after you have these nice 2 beefy weeks in there. But we're going to keep an eye on that going forward because of the macro list. We have all those inside years to the upside and a lot of those names, like XLE itself. But we're also seeing today gold. So gold has been doing nothing forever. It was an inside year, right? But we can start to look for new clues, right? And so what do we got here? So normally I'd say 2-2 on a Tuesday, but since we're closed on Monday, Wednesday's like a Tuesday, right? So if you look at this, slightly down on the first day of the week, and then boom, in their face. What that means is these guys were wrong on selling, right? And you change the week is now green. It's also an inside week to the upside, right? And if that works, now you're setting up this slight lower low in the month, 2-2 reversal on the month over 170, 104, and a nice push from there. You can get them high juicers, J-Nugger having a nice day, and you can see this once again on the daily. 2 down, 2 up, and the good thing about this thing is although GLD gapped, it didn't. So you can grab it as soon as it takes this out. 60.78, trading 66, almost $6 in that so far. Real nice move, and if that works, takes out that monthly. Not doing much in general so far, but that's where we start to look for clues nice and early, see if we can get anything. They are taking the defensive posture, and that kind of told us that the market was probably going to firm up, at least for a little bit, because XLP right up the chute was coming up. Once again, XLP on the daily. 2 down, 2 up, right? And so Doji on the month not doing much, but always a good indicator of, are they just rotating into more defensive names like Procter & Gamble. Outside day, 3-2-2, boom. You're going to take that out, and if that works, it's going to give you an outside week right here, see? So we'll see, just kind of stalling out. Kimberly-Clark was up. Kimberly-Clark up a little bit. Pepsi, Coke was a little quiet, I believe. Pepsi coming up on slight 2 down, 2 up. Not too exciting, but it is what it is. Colgate. So the good thing is you always want to see if you can get an entire sector doing the same thing. And Colgate, that takes the week. So we'll see. Doji on the month. If we go to the Utes, XLU, also not very exciting, but you can see that when the market's dropping and they're coming into these things, right? And that tells us they're taking a defensive posture, right? That they're not dumping the whole market, and that's what gave us a good clue on that SPY 60. It would probably firm up, right? Because you didn't have everything tanking. Here's your 2-2 reversal on the day. 2 down, 2 up. We'll see if that continues going into the afternoon. If you go to CME having a nice day. That was a 2 up yesterday, right? And so that was already a winner with the market down so much. And then just kind of guns here a little quick, but we'll see if that sets up, and you can see if it goes down. How's CBOE doing? To a lesser extent, but once again, the 2 down, 2 up, right, on the day. If we go to TTWO, and TTWO, once again, you can look, like I said, these setups will set up on all time frames, right? So it was red in the month, but you came down here and stopped all these guys out. Then it comes back, and here on the weekly, you can see this. There's your higher high. There's your lower low. There's your broadening formation. Here's your 2 down by taking out the low on the week. Boom, and off you go, 2-2 on the weaker, and off she goes. A little choppy for the last few days, but nice push there, and you got an inside 60 to push you into the highs. If you go to LHX from the weekend video, and LHX, here you can see it did this on the weekly. Outside week, 3-2-2. These are going to be coming outside bar of that outside bar, and it keeps going, because if that works, you set this up, the 2 down, 2 up month. That's good all month to look for setup. So real nice there. And then if you go to the 30, see this. This is something we look for. Outside 30 by taking out both sides. Inside, real move. And the reason that happens is because they're aggressive enough to pay up, and they're aggressive enough to sell down. Then they met in here in the middle. Now who's really more aggressive? The buyers, because you have all the other signs telling you that. If you go to more of the War Machine guys a little bit, General Dynamics slightly poking up there, not really gunning, but it's always important to look at sectors and subsectors to see what they're doing, and LMT's been going up for the last few days. Northrop Grumman here also up slightly, so we'll see. Market stalling out like in the middle of that pattern here, and a little bit here, retail Ollie. Look at Ollie. And Ollie here, just once again on that second day of the week, 2 down, 2 up, which changes this back green, and it's coming off the lower low. That's what you want if you're going to bottom pick, right? Because you're starting a new week. Now your week's green. And if that works, you might be able to turn that month back green. And you can see it's having a nice little push here. How's that 60 doing? Here you go, inside 60, so you can see if that can take that up. We did have the bank earnings, Bank of America. And bank going back to the lows. I'm looking for an outside day, having all sorts of trouble in here. And I don't know if we have any good 15ers in there in the morning. Here's your inside 15 down. Here's what you look for. Equal tick. So that's still 2 up, 2 down reversal, and back down she goes. Here's your inside 15er there. Here's an inside 15er there to go after this thing. How's PNC doing? So PNC hit that thing pretty fast. Yeah, that was pretty quick. So we'll see. That was a 2 up, 2 down here on the 30, though. Just a little tight. So, like I said, continuing to watch these broader averages and what they're going to do here to get out of this thing here. Once again, new 60. Now we start going back down. Right, so we always want to be aware of that new 60-minute bar. As you can see, the SMH is taking the brunt of the beating this morning. And you can see this, 2 up, 2 down on the 60. Bam, down she goes. But, once again, you do have your lower low here. So it's got to re-break and stay down there. Otherwise, still an inside week, albeit getting closer to the lows. Because we had an inside month, now an outside month. By taking out both sides. Now the question is, how do you get outside of that? So you had some of the usual suspects, your NVIDIA. Beautiful 2-2 reversal on the 60 here with the Qs. 2 up. Boom. Down she goes. Now inside. Pokes up. So potential rev strat to the downside if they want to re-hit these things. Because on the monthly, you still have that inside here. Down. That's a 2-1-2 reversal on the month. That's still in force right now for NVIDIA. If you go to KLAC. KLAC looking for an outside month. Taking an outside week to the downside, just got your slight lower low, so we'll see if that sets up again at all for us. If you go to AMAT, I mean, it's pretty much everybody, and that's what you want to see. You want to see institutions going after everybody in a sector. That tells you they're dumping everything, right? Or they're buying everything depending on what's going on. AMAT's still an inside week. If you go to Microchip, and Microchip here, 2-2 reversal month, 2 up, 2 down, and there's been a lot of good ones there that gave us some more tech wrecks earlier in the year or last year, like Net, that was perfect, and down it goes. If we go to Riven, and Riven, another high valuation name, inside week per the weekend video. So the hopes is you get the down, sideways, measured move and finish this thing off. So we'll see how that sets up again. If we go to Moderna, and Moderna inside week, month to the downside, right? That's still good. This is called a Momo shooter because it took out the lows, right? So anybody who's trying to hold on to these lows gets clobbered because now you got real sellers in here, red on all time frames, right? So if you tried to bottom pick Moderna in here, you're gone. Thanks for playing, and that tells us BNTX. And BNTX, once again, of the month. That outside month by taking out both sides. The inside month, down, real move, right? Still going. Also, Momo shoot. Not totally getting killed today, but certainly on the radar. If we go to CLFD. And CLFD just having a rough one here, and you can see this, look at this. Rough month. Another Momo shoot on the week, taking these guys out. We'll see if they set up or step down. If you go to the 30, I believe you'll see this. All right, I'm just noticing some more banks going to the low. Zion Bancorp here having problems. Northern Trust, and there's a 2-2 week. 2 up by taking out the highs. 2 down. 2 reversal on Zion. Northern Trust, some more regional stuff. Also getting clobbered and going 2 up, 2 down. And you can see this on the inside day right here. Inside day to the downside. So watching all those banks like that. If you go to Unify, and Unify, 2 up, shooter month, back down. See, Ford Motor Company was getting hit earlier. Looks like they got recalls. It's been a good run. Remember, we talked about this all year. And then you can just mind this. You had to give a little bit back, but if you're long from down in here, so be it. 2 up, 2 down on the week Ford to stop them out a little bit. So you see these ranges we're watching in the SPY and the Qs, and that's going to need to change on these 60s. That's what we're looking for here. How do we get out of this, and then do we stay out? That's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, Mr. Black, Strat Time Report.